Ariel, listen to me. The human world, it's a mess.
Okay, so maybe it isn't exactly paradise like that, but with the limited amount of acreage that I do have, it is going to be close enough to paradise for them. And the way that they're going to now move in their area is going to be a lot more natural for them than what they had before. Before, I had your basic sacrifice area where most people have an adjacent pasture. Due to the limited land space that I have, I could not have that. So basically I'm utilizing just a little bit more area than what I had before, but I'm making better use out of it. The center will be worked up in the winter or in the spring and seeded down for pasture, so they'll have a little bit of extra grass area to eat, and it's going to be a lot better for them. I'm very excited to get more of it completed, but this is what we could get completed for before winter had set in, and I'm going to have to stop recording there. But we did get it finished that day, and we were ready to get them in and see what they liked or how they liked it. Bravo was ready to go. All the other horses were ready to go, and of course my camera battery had quit on me. And I ended up letting them go without having any actual recording of their actual first moments, but this is just a little while later, and I used my daughter's camera. There was a little bit of worrying about being on the other side at first, but Bravo soon figured it out, and he knew exactly how to get back to me. They didn't have hardly any issue with it at all, which was great. So then it allowed me to, as night was coming close, I wanted to move them around the paddock a little bit in order to, so they knew where all their boundaries were, and it let me be their natural leader, except I'm not as fast, and so I turned around and took them back the other way, and I mean they responded beautifully. They had been cooped up for quite a while this was getting done, and there ever wasn't a worry about anyone getting nervous or scared. They all really enjoyed themselves. This is Shimmy. She came up for a picture, and Oopsa came up for a picture. Shasta, our true LBI, she came up too and was happy to be out and about. Bravo offered me a sideways along the path, and luckily they had a almost full moon that night in order to see as much of their new fenced-in area as possible. This, of course, is how I now get to feed them.
There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all. Bodies in the sand.
And it is, of course, via gator. We have a German Shepherd that you'll hear in the background. Not very happy that she likes to ride on the gator. But my daughter is riding on the gator and throwing the horses as I go along to lead them along the path. And you can see this is just a few days after their first day out there, and they've already got the hang of it. They each go to their own little pile, and they will move themselves along and around the track, finishing up every little last bit of hay. As you can see, as we go around here, the center is what's going to get worked up in the spring and planted with a pasture mix. So they'll have that extra area where, you know, before what they had was, this is a little bit more space, but if you leave them in this all the time, they would have everything, of course, would be dirt like it had been before. Where this they get to continually move around, and I'll just let them on the grass for little bits at a time so that they don't overgraze it. And as we come along to the building, usually I would back up in here and fill up their nibble nets and then clean out their building. But for today's purpose, I then went back around again.
Why are there over Huh? Why are there over 30? Over. No, 12, 30.
Everybody knows a little place like Kokomo. Now if you wanna go and get away from it all, go down to Kokomo. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go down to Kokomo? We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. That's where we wanna go. Way down to Kokomo. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, Key Largo, Montego. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go Jamaica? Off the Florida Keys, there's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all. Bodies in the sand, tropical drink melting in your hand. We'll be falling in love to the rhythm of the steel drum band. Down in Kokomo. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda,